how to use T3 visualizations within the Spotfire. So I showed you like how to do the drill downs and um, how to navigate it from the donut chart to the pie chart. So based upon the marking, if I highlight the Boston marking, I want to see the total number of purchases happened for made by female and made by male, right? So that's what we have saw in the last tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to configure it and how to create the this donut chart in within a Spotfire Professional. All right, so let's do this. So so basically I have a data called films within our Spotfire demo databases. So we are going to use a table called films, and then we are going to create few calculated columns and then categorical columns out of it. So let's do this. So I'm going to select the database called Spotfire demo, and then I'm going to pick the table called film, and then I'm going to pick all the columns from it. And then so basically I'm going to load this and then into the Spotfire data table, and then I'm going to embed it within the Spotfire. Right. So yeah, you can see this here we have total number of 1736 of count of records, which means we have data in our data table. So let's click on the table to see the data. There you go, we got the data, and we got the data from I think 1986. Yeah, from 1983 to we have data till 1999, I think. So I want to create this I want to create a visualization, donut visualization using D3 within the Spotfire client now. See, after configuring and integrating the D3 within the Spotfire, so we have an option called JSViz on the editor bar. So you just need to click on this. Now we have something called properties or setting buttons over here. So in order to configure all the data and all the settings, you just need to use this properties. So it's not the straightforward. Basically, in order to create a visualization like a donut or maps or area charts or anything, you basically how you will create within the T3, right? It's gonna be the same way, and you're going to call those CSS files or JavaScript files or jQuery files within this editor, and then you are going to map that with the columns from our data table. So the idea is basically Spotfire, this editor will convert all your data table data into the JSON format, so that the using the jQuery, so that the JavaScript visualization will going to read this entire data from the JSON format, and then it will create a visualization for us. Right. So for our demo purpose, I have created a few donut charts, like, and then I created a CSS for that, and then created a few JavaScript files, and then I'm going to call those JavaScript files within this editor, right? So after clicking the properties of that JavaScript editor, and then I'm going to give a name called donut chart, right? So I'm going to select the data. So this data by default it is going to pick the data table, default data table. If you have more data tables within your Spotfire, so and you want to create a multiple visualization based on each data table, at any time you can click, and you can click this, and you can select your data table from here, and then you can name it whatever you want, and then you can select the filtering schemes and the markings out of it, right? So in our requirement, in our demo, we are not using not more than one table, so I'm good with the data table what I have. So this is the data table I have. So now click on the edit button, and in the general data settings I can name my data table here, and then I can select the data table, and then if I have created any filtering schemes for this data table, I can choose which filtering scheme I want to, and I can select the marking button also. If I select this marking for the drill downs and all those things, we can limit the data based upon the marking. Right now I'm not choosing any of those things, so I'm setting everything as default. But in column definitions, I want to select a categorical column and the aggregational column. So for my I want what I am trying to analyze with this data is I want to see uh, what are the subject, what are the different type of subject movies has been made within these years, right? So if you see here in this table, so we have different type of subjected movies over here, like drama, action, science fiction, like that. So I wanted to identify these subjected movies, and from 1983 to 1993, how many type of movies has made, and then what is the length of each movie I want to identify, right? So that is my aggregation movie. So I want to find the sum of the length of each subjected movie. So I'm going to save this and then close it now. So this is the core area where you're going to call all your you know scripting languages like CSS, JavaScript, uh, and AngularJS and all the stuff here. So you have two options. Either you have, if you have a data linked in like data on demand, then you can choose this option. If you have data embedded within the Spotfire, you have to choose this embedded content option. So for me, since I have embedded the data into the Spotfire, I'm going to use this option. So first thing is like this is where you want to add your JavaScript files. So I have already created few JavaScript and CSS files, so I'm going to use some of them, right? So you no need to change any of the names if you have created in your local area. All you need to do is just choose the browse button and go to that particular path, and I have created few visualizations within the web server source data library. 93 d3.jscript. Also I'm going to use CSS. So I want to apply the CSS for the donut chart what I have, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to add the chart, which is donut chart with configs. Let me select this donut chart, and also let me add jQuery, which will convert our data into the JSON data, and then JavaScript base, right? So now, so we have all these things. Now if you add one of these, then you can see the background screen in this area. You will see the changes, right? So you see the background color has changed to sky blue here since I added the CSS. Now I'm going to add donut chart, then okay, since I added the things, now you see the donut chart has enabled.